Guys, I'm gonna run you through the absolute basics today to how to approach a girl. I feel like the education is so far from where it should be, and obviously loads of you see continuous videos of me actually doing it, but there is a method behind it, there is a psychology behind it. I saw a girl who actually commented on my DM yesterday, and I posted on Instagram, and she said, you can only do this if you have looks too. Don't give all these men false hope. There couldn't be anything further from the truth. First of all, we're going to focus on the energy and the confidence that we actually approach with, and then break down the psychology and the meaning behind it. But we're going to do it all super quickly, because when you want in-depth, proper information, it is not as easy to put it on platforms like YouTube. That's why we have a course and a community called The Truth. So we actually have a free 6-part dating series over there right now. So the link is going to be in the description for you to head over there. And more importantly, now has as much value we can get in the space of 10-15 minutes, where I tell you guys what we're going to think about and what we're going to try and implement when we're actually approaching a girl. So first of all, we're going to clear off one of the biggest questions I get asked, which is how do you feel about, or what do you do with pickup lines? What pickup lines do you have? Now, naturally, I have 2 or 3 things in my head that I can say to any girl in any situation, and it's great. But for me, one of the most important things we want to look at when approaching a girl is how you can make it unique and authentic within that interaction. So if it's me and Lav on the beach and I'm going to approach her, how can I make this situation about me, you, the beach, and the time? Because all of them things are unique to us, right? Where it is and the time it is. No other guy is approaching you at that very destination at that very time. So how can I make it super authentic in that situation, and maybe provide some sort of substance about what you're wearing, what we're doing, whatever it is, that makes you feel, wow, I've never heard this before, this is fresh, this is new to me, and could give you a different outlook. Let me be very clear. There is nothing that I can say, do this and you will get 100% results. It's about making your results and your possibilities of, you know, proceeding and exploring this certain energy or connection with a girl as possible and as viable as we can. And this is regardless of how you look, because a lot of what a girl is going to judge on the initial interaction is your energy and your kind of characteristics and who she thinks you are and how comfortable you can make her feel. So we're going to break down that bit by bit by bit by bit in a super quick and speedy and efficient fashion. First of all, the approach. When you're seeing a girl, think as much as you can about approaching from a visual angle where she can see you. I always say to guys, when you're approaching from behind, it's not impossible, but generally speaking, the very initial interaction is about making a girl feel as comfortable as possible. Not for her, not for the situation, for the simple fact that I'm approaching you with the intention of exploring whatever the fuck we could be, whoever we could be, whether that's casually, sexually, physically, or get married, I don't care. But I want to explore the next step. Without getting your name, without getting a conversation out of you, I'm not going to explore any of them options. You cannot non-verbally have sex with someone. You can't just go up to someone and go, it doesn't quite work like that, unless you're in Latin America, in which case it probably does work sometimes. Anyway. So we want to initiate the conversation, and I need her to feel comfortable to do that, or she's not going to engage at all, especially where you're in, I don't know, maybe more city areas, more urban areas like London, or cities across Europe. When you go to a girl and you shock her, surprise her, her instantaneous reaction might be to almost put her hand up at you and go, no, sorry, don't want to speak to you. She doesn't know who you are, what you're doing, why you're there, but she just might not want to talk to you, because if a girl does not feel 100% comfortable, she will exit the situation. It's the easiest thing for her to do. She's not going to stand there and physically fight you. She's just going to leave. So when we're approaching, can we look at approaching from a 45-degree angle? What does that look like? If I approach, first of all, something important to notice, that if I approach from straight on and I don't give her an escape route, let's call it, then she might feel a bit intruded on and want to find that escape route as quick as possible, which won't allow the interaction to happen. But also if I approach from behind, she might not have the actual time, and when I'm talking time, I'm talking about seconds and milliseconds to acknowledge me and then make her decision. It might be a case of, oh no, don't want to be here, go, leave. So we want to allow her at least a few seconds to acknowledge that decision that she's going to make, whether that is her seeing you're not a serial killer, because that tap on the shoulder or that hi from behind might make her think, oh, someone's killing me, run. I don't know. And this is not actually an exaggeration, you know. These are the thoughts that go into girls' heads in this day and age.
It's a no-go.
It's a no-go. So I always say to guys, if you have to approach from behind and you have no other option, then go for it. Be as respectful as possible and understand that if she walks away, it's probably she doesn't feel safe, and then, you know, respect that aspect to it. But if we can close on the 45-degree angle, which means I'm coming at an angle where she has her route of wherever she was walking, but we've locked eyes as early as possible so she can acknowledge me as early as possible, and I'm able to be as successful as I can in that first few seconds where she's gone, okay, whether it's he's cute or he's not gonna kill me, what does he want? Can I have a conversation with him? Then we're looking at, what do I actually say? How am I gonna open the conversation? Because this is crucial, and this is where a lot of guys make some big mistakes. So when we're looking at the original, first thing you're gonna say, I'd avoid cheesy pickup lines straight off the bat. I'd concentrate massively on your energy when you're approaching the situation. And I feel like that comes a lot with good intentions. I'm not gonna go too much into it because there is a lot of psychology behind it. But if you can have super good intentions with a girl, if I'm going to approach Lav and I'm thinking straight away, she's beautiful, what could two gorgeous people have? It could be anything. If I approach it with that mindset, I feel like it naturally would make my energy purer. And when your energy is authentic, that is transferable within an interaction. So if I can attain that mindset of beautiful girl, gonna approach her and whatever, it's much better than saying beautiful girl and my pure intention is manipulate this conversation as much as possible so I can eventually sleep with her. When that intention crosses your mind, that can be felt. That energy can be transferable no matter how, you know, able to manipulate you are. So I feel like approaching with an open mind allows your energy to be good, and obviously building up that levels of confidence. We're talking about like the psychology way before. You actually have to build up your levels of confidence and energy before that. You have to put in the work as a human being to be able to do this productively and successfully. So once you have that good energy that you're going to approach with an open mind, no kind of conclusive results that you want in your head, and approach with that open mind that we talk about, we're now thinking of two things. How can I make her either laugh, which is going to allow her to feel more comfortable, or how can I make her curious? And the best way to do this is to offer either a question or a weird scenario that makes her feel part of it. And a way I love to do this, which has been spoken a lot over the years, is actually go up to a girl super organically when you're with a friend or when you're having a situation. You might be on the phone. Hi, I was literally talking about this 2 seconds ago. I need a woman's opinion. What do you think about this? When you can open a conversation up to a woman and not immediately make it
about her,
make it immediately known that my pure intention is to come here and hit on you.
Yeah.
I feel like when girls walk around the street with presumptions in their head. If a guy comes and hits on me today, I don't want to hear it. I'm a woman. I don't want to talk to any guy today. Even if flipping Tom Cruise was to come and speak to you, in your head it's already, I don't want to speak to any guys today. So now you're allowing no room for error. But if I'm coming to propose a question to you, I really need your opinion on this. It gives me that few extra seconds to build the energy, because that's what essentially we want to do. We do eventually want to close and make our intentions very clear to the woman, but sometimes there's a way that we can make her feel more comfortable in the initial interaction. When a woman laughs, again, that's another way to make her feel comfortable, but it has a necessity for you to back it up with continuous rapport building. And when I say rapport building, this is essentially our next stage of the interaction, where we want to look at building as much rapport as possible to prepare for the close. Rapport building is basically, I have 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute to build some sort of connection and energy in this interaction before I can ask for her number, before the girl feels then comfortable enough to give me her details, whether that be Instagram number, whatever it is, or even, you know, really engage strongly in the conversation. How can I build the energy across to her to make her feel comfortable? Is it by knowing her name? Is it by sharing maybe jokes and a sense of humor? But I need to feel when the level is right to when I can actually close. A lot of mistakes that guys do is they smash the approach, they build rapport for like 10 seconds, and then they panic, they have nothing to say, and they go, well, I came to get your number, so I'm gonna get your number. that takes out the level of authenticity that the girl was probably enjoying. The girl likes on the interaction feeling like you have no pre-rehearsed lines, you have no intentions, you're just coming on a vibe where you want to enjoy the interaction, explore the energy and connection, and then bang, when the time's right, oh, by the way, I just realized we've been speaking for 2 minutes and it's been a great conversation, but I don't even have your number. I'd love to take you for coffee sometime. Bang, done. Then the moment to close is, but I need to first know, do you like coffee? What do you like to eat? You know, it's not about understanding her life story, it's about building that rapport before we look to close. And what I'd say is let the close come naturally. Don't wait for an awkward silence to close. Let the conversation flow. And if it's a case where she goes, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm in a rush, I've got to go. Oh, okay, no worries. Well, it only takes a couple of seconds for you to put my Instagram on your phone, so let me do that and then I'll let you get on with your day. You know, respect the boundaries, but most definitely look at building as much rapport as you can before taking her number without making your time too accessible. We don't want to be looking at like 3, 4, 5 minute interactions because it makes your time seem very accessible. As a man, you should always be in a rush. You should always have something to do. You should always be busy and occupied. So when you're meeting this girl, it's very authentic. Hi, oh, you look amazing. So you're looking at, this is what you're doing today. Great, cool. Well, I've got to go. I've got shit to do, but I'd love to take your number because, you know, our mutual love for coffee needs to be explored together sometime. So I'm going to take you for a coffee next week and we're going to have great fun. Bang, done, easy. Suggest, don't ask, and we're going to get onto that very soon. Closing. Looking at closing after you've built up enough rapport. When you close a girl, and what we're talking about closing is in this situation, number, Instagram, whatever kids use nowadays, Snapchat, I don't know. So when you're closing on Instagram or number or whatever, you want to make it make sense. This is a very important point. Make it make sense. What do I mean by this? As soon as you force a question upon a girl, she could very easily, and will a lot of the time very easily, go into the negative. Girls have a big section of wall. You know when people say like, my wall's up high? Girls notoriously have a higher wall than a guy because they need to protect themselves through different ways that a guy feels the need to, or feels the situation where he can physically defend himself, right? I always have the capability to, I can physically defend myself. Girls don't have that, so they have to defend themselves in other ways. And a lot of this is putting up a wall very high and making their time and energy and appearance very hard to access. So once you've actually accessed it, once you've made it accessible to yourself through your rapport building, now we're looking to close. But we don't want to go to the girl, okay, so can I get your number? Because again, we're looking in a situation where girls 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100 are saying no to that question. Beautiful girls, how many times do you get asked for your number in a day? If you're walking around London. Number, Instagram.
Quite.
Too many.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, repeated lines, repeated guys asking for your number. Even if it's like in a business environment, you know, guys will come over to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so the more.
Every day, right?
Yeah, you would, yeah.
Every day. So it's our intention to make this interaction incredibly authentic. And the way we're going to do that specifically here is, as I say, make it make sense. So when you ask a girl the question, the yes or no question, because she's so used to saying no, her psychology will sway her straight to the no because that's her wall going up. She doesn't want to be accessible. But when you make it make sense, it's almost a way of very kindly and respectfully manipulating her brain into allowing something to make sense. Sometimes, a lot of the time, always, girls think very two-dimensional. So when you make something make sense for them, when you put it on a plate for them and go, you know, you're hungry and here's food, it can be much more normalized for her to actually say yes in that interaction. So we want to do 2 things. We want to, first of all, make it make sense. And the second of all, we want to use our rapport to close. And after this, another thing to talk about is we want to use our close to text, because a lot of guys ask me, yo, what do I text to a girl? We want to use that rapport. That rapport is going to be our middle bit of strength that we can now use to take this interaction, this energy, this connection anywhere we want for whatever our intentional outcome is. So now we use the rapport to close. Let's say we've been talking about, again, I'm going to revert it to coffee. We've been talking about coffee for the last 10 minutes. I said to her, what have you done today? She said, oh, I've just got a coffee and bang, bang. Oh, what's your coffee? Great. You like latte? Cool. Amazing. No one gives a shit. So now I'm going to say to her, well, because we have such a great love for coffee together, it would only be right that I show you the best coffee shop in London. Have you ever been to this coffee shop in London? No, I've never been. Oh my God, it's the best coffee shop in London. You need to try their coffee. Little does she know, the coffee's average and no one cares. But I've used rapport to provide a situation where we're now agreeing mutually the idea of us being together in some capacity. And now we've already agreed, yo, we're gonna go for coffee next week. All right, bye, nice to see you. Oh, wait, shit, how am I gonna text you for coffee next week? Put your number in. I'm gonna give you a date and a time. Now it makes sense. Also, remember, oh shit, I gotta text you about coffee next week. Put in your, bang, it's already ready, you're giving her the phone. You've already agreed to go on a date, so in what capacity are you asking her, can I take your number or not? The rapport's been so heavy that you're just gonna make it make sense and then implement it in that direction. And this allows the girl not to have to make an intrusive decision. And when girls don't make decisions, they prefer it. It allows them to feel more comfortable, more in their feminine energy. And this is the level of assertiveness we want to provide as long as we're making a girl feel comfortable. So we've talked about basically everything super quickly from approaching to closing. There is so much more intricacy into this, along with how to make a woman feel comfortable in the interaction, how to flirt effectively, how to communicate, what kind of things you want to talk about, how do you know if she's into you or not. So many things. We could talk 20 minutes on each one, and that is why we have the truth accessible to you. That is why we have a super intricate course available, which is also a community which keeps you incredibly accountable to achieve the energy and the confidence that you want to be approaching said girl with in the interaction. And once you've conquered the energy and the confidence, it becomes very second nature to you, not only being able to handle rejection and live with the, hey, you're right, no, okay, bye, have a nice day, which is the kind of pinnacle for a guy, being able to handle that rejection effortlessly. And then getting as many results as we can through understanding the psychology of a woman, what a woman wants, how we can actually provide in that situation, etc. It's all in the truth. It's all in the truth. So thank you so much for being my gorgeous model.
Oh, of course, it's been a pleasure. I think you made me smile just hearing all this stuff as well, because it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense.
You've never thought about anything I've just said, right?
No, honestly, I think, no. Well, yeah, at some point, and I was agreeing with everything you were saying, especially making a girl comfortable and, not approaching her about straight away that you are onto her and stuff. It just makes so much sense for a girl. Because if someone was to approach me like that, and someone approached me like that before, actually, and I think it worked. So, yeah.
It wasn't me, guys. It was someone else. You've been cheating on me. But generally speaking, as I say, no one really likes to delve down to the psychology of things. Psychology is behind and controlling everything we do. It's all in our brains. So this is where we need to actually start controlling the psychology of us and also looking at how we can affect the psychology of her to attain what we want to attain in the situation. But I go back to my first point. You guys are going to hate me for nagging on about this. Having pure intentions at the start of this is going to be huge for you. When you actually have good intentions as a person, the pressure is relieved, everything's relieved, and you're much more. When you have good intentions and you take off the pressure, you'll become so much more productive and successful with approaching in general. But more than anything, when you see a beautiful girl, go and approach her. Don't live with the regret of not approaching her. Good energy, good vibes, and then you can spend time with beautiful girls like this all your life. Aww. And have them falling in love with you.
We're best friends anyways.
Wow, what a way to end the video. We're not best friends. Don't lie to them, we're not best friends.
I know.
We're not best friends.
What are we then?
We're friends?
No, I don't want to say what are we.
We're friends?
I don't want to say we are we. So let's leave it at that.